Fighty Radio.
Greetings and salutations. Happy 2017. My name is Alex Ramirez alongside my co-host Albert Cita. Guillermo is here. This is 5-Round MMA, the first one for 2017. I know we're only a couple days in, but hopefully 2017 is going pretty well for everyone out there, and that's going pretty well for us. Gentlemen, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Any resolutions?
It's the same one as every year. Let's see if I do it this time.
He doesn't want to admit it on air.
I just don't want to admit it on air because I'm gonna get, if I don't do it, then I look like an idiot.
You know, for once I don't have a resolution whatsoever. My thing is work hard 2017, if that counts as a...
Work hard.
I mean, whatever I do, I got to give it 110%. So you're going to get 110%
there you go.
Today
like
for
it.
me.
It's like, what was it for your wrestling fans out there? Scott Hall, when his Hall of Fame speech. Was it hard work pays off, bad times don't last. Well, bad times don't last, hard work pays off, but bad guys do, or something like that.
Yeah,
Our dreams do come true, so hard work.
Bad guys don't die.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so this show, the first show, 2017, we're off last week due to Christmas, but we got Ronda Rousey. Basically, it's our UFC 207 Fallout show because a lot happened. The future and past of MMA kind of collided at this show, which is kind of interesting.
Doesn't this guy kind of look like Robert Kardashian? Sorry, Guillermo.
Yeah, it does.
The guy in the bottom.
Yeah,
Cairo asked her who is fighting on the next card.
Oh, okay.
So look out for Rob Kardashian's double ganger.
Also, UFC announcing changes, and we're going to look at the lightweight title picture. So let's get started with round number one. Round number one, Ronda Rousey was easily defeated by Amanda Nunes at UFC 207 in 48 seconds, TKO.
I told you guys. You know what? I saw.
Why?
You didn't say TKO.
Why did she even bother?
I saw Amanda Nunes at Disney World, and I told you, man, she was lean, green, and fighting machine, ready to take.
Green, all right.
Ready to take out Ronda Rousey. I saw her in person, and I was
pretzel.
And I was very impressed. No pretzel whatsoever.
It's just weird to me because every single time I think of Amanda Nunes, all I can think about is when she fought Cain Zagano, and Cain Zagano clearly won that fight. And with that said, who was
that?
That doesn't matter. Then you never lose that. And the last person to beat Cain Zagano, of course, is Julia Pena. So I'm still
ixo facto.
Or what? I just want to see Julia Pena get in there already. With her.
Let's get. I mean, I think James Toney put up a better fight against Randy Couture than Ronda Rousey did against Amanda Nunes.
No, it was about the same because he swung and missed too.
2014 is when
I didn't mean
Amanda
that.
Nunes lost to Cain Zagano. But I mean, what was that performance? It wasn't even a fight. I mean, you take a year off. Ronda Rousey puts on this. I'm not talking to anybody because I'm so focused. And to have that game plan or to have that type of performance, it's like she just
look.
I mean, yeah. People don't know she got paid $3 million just to show up.
That's baloney, man. $3 million
to
show up.
I don't know how that's baloney,
just to show up.
And you get the champion of the UFC.
She should at least done a little bit of media with $3 million, I guess.
Yeah, I know. So that's just a show. Not pay-per-view buys, merchandise, whatever. $3 million.
Just straight up, just show up.
I mean, honestly, I would last 48 seconds for $3 million, wouldn't you guys? I mean,
clearly.
Concussions be damned, but
still. I'll take it. I'll take a nice KO.
I mean, if money's motivation, then all for Ronda Rousey, but that was no performance at all. I mean, she was like, I don't understand it.
And I don't want to deceive the public. I'm not a specialist in any way, shape, or form in any type of martial arts. But I will say this. Who walks in a straight line when they're getting punched? You can clearly see, like, to me, the most frustrating part is how do you have a boxing coach and not do basic boxing stuff like dip your head, stay out of the straight line, circle left, circle right, circle somewhere, just circle.
I think there's a bigger thing here. I think Ronda Rousey, no matter what she could say, trying to get focused as much as she can, she wasn't there mentally. The fact that she avoided the media just so she can supposedly focus more on the fight, I think she was never mentally there.
Who do you think took more of a mental dump, her or Miesha Tate?
Honestly, they're both really, really going down the drain in terms of mentally. I mean, Miesha Tate doesn't even have the passion anymore.
Yeah, I was as dumbfounded as I was in the Miesha Tate fight. Again, not to take anything away from Amanda Nunes because, they were both against Amanda Nunes. But it almost felt like they both took like a mental dump.
What does that say about Amanda Nunes? She beat Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey consecutively, but both unmotivated Miesha Tate and unmotivated Ronda Rousey.
You can't discredit what Amanda Nunes is doing right now. because she had to work her way to
But-
get to where she's at.
It's like the whole Anderson Silva things. Like when you're ready for Anderson Silva, to leave and be gone, you were expecting some kind of like big thing, and then his legs get broken. It leaves like a bitter taste in your mouth. It's like, well, I understand that he probably wouldn't have won anyways.
Yeah.
But just the way it ended and the way it happened, maybe Emmanuel would have beat them both, but it just seemed mentally.
This is what
not
the
there.
best thing that UFC did for me leading up to the fight is have Miesha Tate be one of the color commentators.
Oh, I love that.
Leading up
By
to
the
it.
way.
And she kind of broke it down because if anybody can relate to how her mental state was, it was similar to what Ronda Rousey was. And she called it the whole entire week. Hey, you know what? I don't see it mentally. She can talk, and it seems like very fake that she's so concentrated on this fight, but she's still mentally weak.
Yeah. So here's Rousey's post-fight statement, which she gave exclusive to ESPN, by the way. I want to say, quote, I want to say thank you to all my fans who've been there for me in not only the greatest moments, but the most difficult ones. Words cannot convey how much your love and support means to me. Returning to not just fighting, but winning was my entire focus this past year. However, sometimes even when you prepare and give everything you have and want something so badly it doesn't work how you planned. I take pride in seeing how far the women's division has come in the UFC and commend all the other women who have been part of this possible, including Amanda. I need to take some time to reflect and think about the future. Thank you for believing in me and understanding. End quote. What has she been doing this whole year if not taking the time to believe and reflect upon her future? She's a Holly Holm. So what? I don't understand what's going on here. And Dana White said that thanks to Ronda Rousey, I'm standing here right now. She built this whole thing, which is a little.
Oh, calm down.
As he was fighting tears and a tear in his eye, he said,
was Forrest Griffin in the corner like, okay, yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know. Like Chuck Liddell,
Oh, I mean, she's a pioneer.
She didn't build it. Come on. Come on.
Round
If
one's
anything,
over,
if anything, we got the top of the skyscraper because of her.
Yeah,
she didn't build the whole
Round one's
scraper.
over. We're gonna go long this show. I can tell already,
before that is I really like what John Jones said. This is like what shows real courage. Come back one last time to Ronda Rousey, and I think that's what Ronda Rousey.
You know what? What's also encouraging? John Jones coming back one more time.
courage, and $3 million.
No, forget the money. I think she needs closure.
Yeah.
And I think this was more of a can't do.
Okay.
Am I motivated to really want the belt, or am I motivated for the right reasons?
Okay, so now does she maybe come back one more time and bust Uriah Faber and like face like a Brad Pickett type of level fighter?
She's not even 30, by the way, guys.
But I mean, like, okay, let me just say for closure, let me get one more win. Let me fight somebody down at the bottom maybe, or somebody I've beaten already. Run it back with Bethe Correia or something like that. Just get closure.
Yeah, I mean, Bethe Correia. I even think Miesha Tate would be a great matchup, even though they've already faced these.
Well, I think. When they fight the lower tier of the whole bracket and they start losing to those lower tiers, that's usually when you know it's time to retire.
Yeah.
So that's a better indication than finding the top of the of the hill.
It's not a coaching problem, is it?
It has.
Can we catch Edmund a break here? Or?
I just hope she can go to AKA.
Honestly, you know what's funny is that's the first thing I try to look up is like what are the comments going to be for her coaching, and honestly, this guy has made Ronda Rousey the biggest success story.
But what about Travis Brown and Jake
MMA?
Ellenberger, the other people that went to his camp?
It's kind of
Manny Gambino, whatever.
He gets her to the top, and now we're being nitpicky of why she can't stay on top.
Did she get him to the top, or did Ronda Rousey got herself on top?
Well, too, and also they also released his coach's mic corner right after the fight, what he was saying. But last time I checked, Ronda Rousey was tapping out people her whole way. I mean, she had one or two knockout victories.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, he wasn't getting all the credit for all her judo moves in the octagon that led her to a championship. But yet, when she get knocked out, look at Coach Edmund. You didn't teach her right. Well, look at her past. She's never been a stand-up fighter. So
that's what she was. That was his. But he's a boxing coach.
Yeah.
He was supposed to teach her the boxing. She already had the judo.
Ronda Rousey's in the news, so I mean, all those memes, man. People are just ruthless. God, they're so fast with the memes.
You internet trolls, you.
God, a lot of them are funny, but still, just mean spirited, mean people. That's it for round number one. We're gonna come back and with round number two, talk about the co-main event for UFC 207, Cody Garbrandt and his breakdancing skills in the octagon.
We're gonna show no love in the next round.
No love in the next round. So, but before we do that, let's take a moment to talk about one of our great sponsors and partners over at 5 Rounds Clothing, who offer a unique collection of apparel and accessories that incorporate the culture, style, and attitude of MMA. They're constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company possible in the MMA world. Check out their great line of hoodies, t-shirts, hats, etc., and other great accessories at 5rounds.clothing. Please follow them on Twitter at 5roundswear, number 5roundswear, and on Instagram at 5rounds_5rounds. Get it on. So, coming up, round number 2. Don't go anywhere. Time for round number 3. One of the biggest stories over the Christmas break we had here was Cain Velasquez being removed from UFC 203 against 207 against his
Cain always in pain
against Fabricio Verdum, which stemmed from an interview he gave to ESPN Brett Akamoto.
I'm starting to hate that guy.
Yeah, I know.
More than one reason.
Yeah, it's a very unique name for his podcast.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he
Check the dates, bro.
Yeah, he gave an interview to ESPN where he stated that, I have back injuries. I can't even stand for like 10 minutes at a time. I'm using cannabis oil or something.
But good thing, a round's only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I really think the Nevada Athletic Commission should have listened to that part.
So I guess he went, got cleared. His doctor had a phone conference with the commission. He's cleared to go. And then all of a sudden, the commission changed their mind, stating, you know what, from his interview, you can't even stand for 10 minutes, bro. You can't fight.
Well, a round's 5 minutes, so I don't know what they were talking about.
Apparently,
3 rounds, that's 15 minutes, Albert.
So,
yeah, but he sits down between rounds,
Yeah.
then you reset the 10 minutes.
Yeah. So apparently, they informed the ESPN writer about this without informing Cain first. So, it was breaking news that Cain Velasquez is off UFC 207.
And it was breaking news to Cain Velasquez as well.
Yeah, he's like, except
he was literally doing practice when they told him.
He's like, go on Twitter. I was like, I'm off. What the heck? So he's like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, they did everything they could. They actually, after it was reported, they showed video of him working out. He even said, I'll offer to go to your doctor in Nevada. Just, let me go. I'm good. And they said, nope, you're not good. You should open your mouth, bro. Now you're off.
Well, that, and then you had a scheduled surgery right after the fight, too. So
yeah, I think it would have been like today or something, or like on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
The 4th. So theories going around saying that
he did it on purpose.
Yeah, for the MMAA involvement. See, fighters are always hurt, and he's getting wrong advice. So just, there's a lot going on here. There's reporting, and then injury, and then MMAA. So what are you guys' thoughts about Cain Velasquez? Obviously, he's getting cracked for being hurt because he's always hurt now.
I think a lot of fighters don't say a certain injury until afterwards. But then it's like a double-edged sword. You wait until afterwards to say it. Let's say you lost, then it's an excuse. Let's say you won, then everyone starts speculating other stuff. You get me?
Yeah.
But if you say ahead of time, obviously, it could get you kicked out of the card. So there's never really a right time, I guess, to say you're injured until maybe the next fight, and then say the last fight or something. I don't know when you're supposed to report injuries now. If he wanted to fight, I really do think he should have stayed away from that whole back thing, because I don't know how you could say you have planned surgery and think that nothing's going to happen as far as the fight coming about.
And Guillermo, obviously this injury wasn't that bad because he was able to pass all the pre-fight physicals.
Here's my thing is I think it sends a wrong message, because when you take the advice of a doctor, and you can have multiple doctors give an opinion, and as long as all of them say that you're good to go, why would you ever disregard that? Here's my thing is, now I bet you fighters, if before they weren't reporting certain injuries leading up to the fight, now it's gonna be even worse. Look what happened to Tyrone Woodley for being truthful. I mean, not Tyrone Woodley, Rashad Evans for being truthful. Look what happened to Cain Velasquez for being truthful. They get kicked out of the card, and yet they have doctor's notes and pre-physicals that they're passing to say, hey, you know what? They're slightly injured, but they can't get even more injured. Cain Velasquez went a little bit more proactive and say, you know what? I'm gonna have my schedule ready to go once I finish the fight, that I can get right back into my rehab, so I can get healthy again. So I mean, to me, it's like they just discredited everything a doctor has to say. So when they're the experts. So I think it sends a bad message to everybody, because these are multi-million-dollar guys. What happens to the guy that's making $30K a fight? Is he really going to say, hey, you know what? I blew on my knee 2 weeks ago at practice. No, I'm going to stay quiet.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass my physical because I can. and then I'm gonna fight, and then after the fight, I'm just gonna do whatever I need to do with my knee because I need to get paid.
Yeah, I mean, did this happen to Luke Rockhold as well too?
Yeah, Luke Rockhold's knee was jacked up,
He
and
said that his knee
he
was
said
hurt, right?
he was probably gonna need surgery. He might need something, but he said his knee was done.
Yeah,
and he fought on it. Yeah,
He fought Michael Bisping, right?
But he actually won, I think.
Is this
when
something,
his
something
knee
happened
hurt.
like that? With,
I don't know.
I don't know. Something like
I
that,
thought it
but-
was Michael Bisping, and he lost.
Well, it's always been his knee. It just reminds me of Daniel Bryan way too much. It's cleared by all the doctors, but yet the big man,
man's keeping him
the
down.
man's keeping him down,
So-
won't let him fight.
So what about this whole? This was a ploy between Cain Velasquez and the UFC getting back to him about the whole MMAA involvement. Like,
If that's true, that's
like,
a risky
the
way to
union would
play
say,
it.
Hey man, tell about your injuries. Talk about your injuries because we need insurance for you fighters out there. So open it up about that, and then all of a sudden it kind of backfires him. Or the UFC, you know what? No, get him off the card. He's not fit to fight.
Yeah, see, then that was probably one of the risky things to do, and maybe Kane shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
But I can see how it could have been a ploy where they're like, just talk about it, so it can be on record. Because when it comes to like these unions and stuff like that, record means everything for these people. If there's not a paper trail, there's no real way that you can back it up, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that could have been a thing, and it just shot Kane in the foot.
Yeah. It wasn't Conor McGregor injured with his hand, and he still was able to perform.
He's
against what's it called, Eddie Alvarez.
Well, Conor McGregor does whatever he wants.
Well, technically,
But see, that's my point. Is like
Connor's had that hand issue since I can remember. I remember his hand always being taped.
Yeah.
If you watch a lot of like the backstage stuff, it's always his right hand. So whatever it is, it's been nagging him for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, Velasquez, his surgery is going to go down this week, I think, and there's no timetable his return. I mean, this dude, what a fall from the grace, man.
I don't think it's a fall, man. I think people are getting.
I just want to see him fight.
He just destroyed your boy, freaking Ronda Rousey's boyfriend,
Travis
husband.
Brownie.
Not my boy.
He just destroyed Travis Brownie.
He's your boy.
A healthy Cain Velasquez is a dangerous Cain Velasquez.
But when is he healthy, though?
So that doesn't have to do with anything. I mean, like the fact that to disregard Cain Velasquez, give the guy a chance. I mean, like he needs to
We
get
did give
healthy.
him a year.
And and he came back and he destroyed Travis Brownie in like in a round and a half. So
This guy, like, he should have like 20 wins by now. Like, he barely has, what, 14, 15? He's just like, I don't know, man, whatever. And then, like, when you got, what's his name? Ben Rothwell calling you out, you're in trouble.
and we'll see because some of these guys that
Already
are
beat
super
Ben Rothwell.
active are not going to be as active before. And now a lot of Conor McGregor is like, are you gonna be saying the same thing when the 155 belt isn't being defended in over a year?
True. All right, that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship round, But before we do that, actually, championship round is going to be pretty interesting. We'll talk about the UFC changes, making more unpopular moves and new ownership, and talk about the Khabib versus Tony Ferguson, what's going on in the lightweight division. But let's talk about something very, very cool, something we've been a part of for a long, long time, Redemption Martial Arts. RMA Foundation is... Hold on, Albert. You guys use it up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Little video problem here. Redemption Martial Arts is a non-profit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the bullying epidemic and providing people with accessible resources and training to help them combat confrontations. Team RMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you're interested in being a member of the RMA team or want to just some more information about this great organization, please visit redemptionmartialarts.com and find them on all social media platforms. Redemption Martial Arts, rise up against bullying. Small break, entering the championship rounds next. Welcome back. Time into the championship rounds. Round number 4. UFC 207 also marked the final event in which the great Mike Goldberg will call a UFC fight. It was confirmed after weeks of rumors. It was confirmed the days leading up to the fight.
So much rumors
by Dana White that UFC 207 would be Mike Goldberg's last event with the organization.
This isn't fake news.
This is real news. After I think 15, 20 years with the company, it's been him and Joe Rogan doing pay-per-views. Some people are upset. Some people are happy.
And some people don't care.
I don't care. I was never really a fan of Goldberg's style. I mean, he had a couple catchphrases. It's all over. Virtually identical. And that is it. That's pretty much it, right?
Let's just keep it real. He was never a good old JR.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
look,
think the pairing of Rogan and Goldberg to me was never anything super special. But I don't know. But we may be regretting this because rumors are going around that the UFC is very interested in Jim Rome to do the color
Wasn't
commentary.
Jim Rohn so negative towards MMA in the very beginning?
I haven't
that-
listened to
he
Jim
was
Rome's
he was a
episode.
boxing guy,
I
right?
haven't. heard an episode of Jim Rohn's
I
sports
haven't
show
either.
in like 20 years. I have no idea
What
what
was
he's
the old
talking
show you said? Jim Rome's
Something's
burning.
Jim Rohn's burning, and then that was the last I heard of the guy. So I have no idea.
Known
what's
for
going on.
talking smack and only
Known for
talking
getting beat
smack.
up,
I think he's on the satellite sports.
Who beat him up?
right?
It was like a baseball player or something like
Or some
that.
football player. I don't know. But that's like his family. But
Shouldn't keep talking that shit.
I don't think it's gonna be Jim Rome. But even before that, there was talks about Dana White put a dream team together. So of Rogan and then somebody else or some other people. I think a 3-man booth that he wanted to do. There's rumors of Eddie Bravo coming in. But I'm thinking like you have a whole plethora of guys at Fox Sports. You have Donna
All those
Cruz,
beautiful
DC, Brian
analysts.
Stan, Dan Hardy. Why not have those?
Don't you
rotating-
say John Anik.
Not John. I can't. John Anik is in small doses for me. But I mean,
I think John.
Even Misha Tate, I would have been happy about.
okay. But I mean, like,
you need
this
the-
whole team. But you need to play.
So technically, he's the color commentator, right?
No, he's a play-by-play.
He's the play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
because Joe was the color.
Yeah, Joe added color to the commentary
okay.
and color commentary.
But see, I think probably the best talkers is Dominic Cruz. Yeah, you know who did a really good job before was Frank Mir. I
Yeah.
thought Frank Mir did an awesome job when he was there commentating, and also of course Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, they're good. But I mean, so those are like the color commentators. So when
Come on, don't you remember Stephen Bonner's classic line? He climbed the wall like a ninja.
So play-by-play. I mean, there's also rumor of Jim Ross, former WWE announcer, going out there. People are talking about Mauro Ranallo, but I think he's locked up pretty good with WWE.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I wish they would get.
Yeah, but I think he's locked up. I think it's like a 2-3 year contract that he's barely in the middle of.
He's too good.
With Mauro.
He's too good for that.
Because the former Pride announcer. I don't know. This is more more changes from the ownership. I mean, Joe Rogan's on his way out, supposedly, right? Super limited schedule, so it doesn't really matter.
But he's about to phase out too.
Yeah. So I mean, my thing is get a former mixed martial artist guy. I mean, don't get just Eddie Bravo's cool and all, but he's just a jiu-jitsu specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Get a fighter in there. Get a mixed martial artist up in there to talk about.
So you're saying Frank Mir?
Yeah.
Well, it
Stephen
just
Bonner.
shows that they're not even happy with the guys they've been tested. Because if you look at it, the fight nights and all that, it's usually different. It's not Mike Goldberg and it's not Joe Rogan, and they're not happy with the Kenny Florian.
Hey, you
John
might even get a
Anik,
Dan
and-
Hardy because Dan Hardy's been doing a lot of the media stuff.
So I just don't think that it planned out the way they wanted to in terms of like this is who we want to replace Mike Goldberg and Joe Rogan. That's why they're searching outside.
You know what's funny? Who I always liked, but please don't give him the job is Boss Ruin. I love Boss Ruin's commentary, but I never know what's going on in the fight. I'm like, I don't know what he says. He said, "Bop, boom, boom, bing," and then I'm.
You know what? Because he's always like 3 steps ahead of the fighter.
Is that
Everybody
it?
Says, it actually happens a lot of times.
But
I
he is
mean,
a good commentator. I just can't pay attention to the fights when he's talking.
even like that. I can't even think of any really good combat play-by-play announcers. I mean, I don't watch enough HBO boxing. Do you guys? I mean, Max Kellerman.
No, dude.
Max Kellerman's more of a color commentary too. He just adds
I
insight.
think boxing has the worst commentaries because they're so biased. I can't watch a boxing fight because I get so irritated over their bias. Like as soon as they attach to someone, the other guy like he can fart and be like, "That was such a technical fart right there," and it clearly avoided everything. It's like they once they attach themselves to a fighter, it's like they can't do nothing wrong. There's hardly any action, and I almost feel like I'm watching a one-sided fight after a while.
And it almost sucks too. Like, there's so many.
And it cannot be
channels
that far
And so
away.
many broadcasts, and ESPN has like 50 games on. ESPN, TNT have like 50 games on a day, but I can't really think of any like really good play-by-play guys off the top of your head. Can you?
Wait, in terms of other sports?
Yeah, in other sports.
Oh yeah, dude. I think
I know guys that hate.
I think basketball has like the legit best commentators you can think of.
I mean, like play-by-play, not the color guys. Play-by-play, not like the former players, the actual play-by-play guys.
Yeah, you're talking about
Is Stan
Jeff
Van Gundy the
Breen.
play-by-play
You're talking
guy?
about like the Jeff Breens.
Yeah.
You're talking about the what's the other guy? Marv Albert. I love Marv Albert. I love
yeah.
me some Marv Albert.
Well, that sexy ass voice. Come on. Man.
But I mean, like, I know everybody hates Joe Buck because he's everywhere on Fox. But I mean, that's for that. But I don't know.
That's the fat guy, right?
No, man, Joe Buck with Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The guy that's always a troll.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
I hate that guy. Any baseball fan knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, because he does baseball games.
He butchers
out of
baseball games.
out of nowhere.
But yeah, so Mike Goldberg is no longer in the UFC. See what he does. There's memes going around of him like under the Bellator banner and World Series.
I was never friends with Goldberg.
So Mike Goldberg, thank you for all the catchphrases and stuff like that. But
The
we'll
2 or
see
3.
who has Jim Rome, man, I'm just gonna start watching or just switch over to the Spanish broadcast.
Listen to Mauricio Verdum instead.
Yeah, so that's it for round number 4. Come back and end this out, end this first show 2017 out with Khabib versus Tony Ferguson talk. But before I do that, you guys know that we're on FiveBook MMA. You guys know that, right?
Yeah, of course, duh.
And they have the annual FiveBook MMA Awards every year. We got some great news from them that we were one of the most listened to podcasts of 2016. I mean, they have a podcast network of like over 15 great shows, and to think that we were the most listened to is super awesome, super great. And our partnership with FiveBook MMA has been great. We've grown a lot because of them, and I think vice versa. So it even got to remind me too, this whole Cain Velasquez news. People weren't sure about if he's out or he's not. The great thing about FiveBookMMA.com is they report it when it's actual news. They don't speculate on anything. It's news you can trust. It's the only place where you'll find real combat sports from all over the world. A website you can trust the accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, boxing, from local promotions to all the major ones like UFC, Bellator, World Series of Fighting, King of the Cage, Golden Boy Promotions, Lion Fight, all that great stuff. So please visit FiveBookMMA.com. They're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's FiveBookMMA.com, website you can trust with all the news. That's it for round number 4. We're going to come back and close this show out with some Khabib versus El Cucuy talk. Time for the 5th and final round. So we all know that Conor McGregor is the lightweight champion, and he's going to be out. According to Dana White, says 10 months. And the
featherweight.
Yeah.
They never took it away.
Dana White says 10 months. Conor, what are you talking about? I'm just on a little vacation right now. I could be back sooner than that, but Dana White says that it's like a bad relationship, right? They'll say something like... Anyway, so Conor McGregor's out for a little bit, which leaves the 2 top dogs in the division, who I think, Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov, were set to go off of it. Khabib did this real awesome post where he said, like, for years, people have been telling me I have to fight Tony Ferguson. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. It has to happen. This is like my one and true equal type of thing. I'm just paraphrasing here, but he said that this is the guy I need to fight. And even Tony Ferguson retweeted it, and it's going to happen. And there's rumors there's going to be an interim title fight for them for the lightweight title, because McGregor's going to be out for that long. Again, McGregor's I have no idea I'm going to be out that long, but I guess I am going to be out that long. And then it's going to happen. Yeah, Khabib versus Tony Ferguson for the interim lightweight title. Winner's going to face Conor McGregor whenever he wants to come back. And then all of a sudden, Dana White said, no, it's off because Tony Ferguson wants more money. And I'm the boss, and I say, no, he doesn't get any more money. He's going to get what he signed for, and that's it. So now Khabib is out with no opponent. Ferguson hasn't really said anything since. I haven't read anything about this whole thing. And Khabib did another post saying, I have to fight Tony Ferguson. This is the guy I have to fight.
So I think what everybody needs to realize is this fight was booked twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Well, the first time Khabib pulled out, the second time Tony pulled out, and due to injury. So the fight was going to happen. No one anticipated the rise of Tony Ferguson. I think when you sign contracts, and I think maybe Albert might take the different approach, but when you sign contracts, you're trying to get the most you can for the fighter or where you are in that position. It's crazy how when you look at other sports, when they're trying to get new contracts and stuff, it's when they're on top of the sport, when they're the best players in that prospective sports. In fighting, it could take 1 or 2 fights, and you shot up to probably the best fighter on the planet. That's what happened to Tony Ferguson. This guy, I don't think nobody anticipated his rise so quickly. And when he signed his contract, I mean, it just doesn't reflect for a number 1 contender or a champion. Yeah. Can you think of an interim champion, like, or if he becomes, let's say, a fight for Khabib, and he's interim champion, getting paid, and when we talk about peanuts, what if he's getting paid $30K a fight still, or $40K a fight? I don't know. He can Wikipedia how much Tony Ferguson is making, but trust me, it's probably a lot less than Khabib.
Yeah.
So my thing is, other sports do it all the time. They do restructure contracts all the freaking time to either benefit the team or to benefit the player. Let's make this player the most paid athlete in our team. Let's make Aaron Rodgers the most paid quarterback in the entire NFL just because Andrew Luck just got a new contract. Yeah. Let's reward our guy. They're not rewarding their guy is Tony Ferguson. To me, Tony Ferguson has done everything possible. That you're talking about excitement, you're talking about smack talk, you're talking about putting himself out there, being a UFC guy, and I think it shows that maybe he does need a little bit. Hey, you know what? You did sign that $30K, but here's a signing bonus for your next that you're gonna stay with the UFC or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You don't really have to go into specific, but give him a little signing bonus to make it a little bit more fair, I just think we got to see this Khabib fight and Tony Ferguson. And I think Tony Ferguson is doing the right thing by just staying quiet. And then the other thing is to Tony Ferguson, what he has working for him is that Conor McGregor's in the shelf. Because, okay, so you can't get a 155 fight with Khabib versus Conor McGregor. So why should I be in a rush to fight Khabib in February when I know I might not even get a crack at it until 2018?
Yeah. So, I mean, Dana White said, hey, this guy just recently signed a contract. Now he wants more money. I'm a businessman. If I don't honor my contracts, people are going to give me crap. Why can't I give crap for a fighter not honoring his contract, Albert?
I think Tony Ferguson's going about it the whole wrong way. People forget when you say about you. I think UFC will ante up the money if they have to, like a la Conor McGregor. But the thing is, you got to get to those steps. People forget that Conor McGregor didn't just go and fight 2-3 fights. He actually put in a lot of time into how many fights he had to get before he was champion, before he really started talking that money talk. And I just think it would mean I think Tony Ferguson would have more of a leverage if he would win against Khabib, get the belt, and guess what? Now you have all the leverage. You're the champion, son. And I think that's the route you have to take, and that's the route I think that they'll quickly start throwing the money at you. You guys talk about all these other athletes that they get paid for their performance, stuff like that. Yeah, I agree, but some of these athletes had to actually perform first before they got that big paycheck. Some of these guys are barely getting paid because they performed back in the day.
Yeah, but what's an 8-fight win streak? That's not.
What does that?
That's not saying, but he's not a champion though.
Yeah.
You have more leverage as a champion.
You know what?
Kobe had more leverage when he had 5 rings, homie.
I think he brought up a great point. Is to me in the UFC the title means nothing anymore. No. You know what the title means to me is talking power. Yeah. Because now,
and that's how you get paid.
Well, if you think about it, Cody's reference in the post-fight, it says, now I'm the champion, I call the shots. Conor McGregor's champion, now I call the shots. TJ Dillashaw, I'm not the champion, so now I'm at the mercy of the UFC.
Yes.
So I think...
Michael Bisping says the exact same thing.
Yeah, so now Michael Bisping says the exact same thing. So I think what the title really means is that you have a voice over every other fighter and you have a voice over the UFC because you're the champion, you call the shots. So I think...
all the more reason why Tony should just fight and get this belt and then let him then start throwing the numbers out.
I mean, I still find a fight too that Dana White's he's talking for McGregor so much now. Like, he's like, oh, when we talk about Nate Diaz, no, we'll never put it against Nate Diaz is so much bigger. I need to protect Conor McGregor. He's out for 10 months. No, he's on the shelf now. We're going to do an interim title. And McGregor's like, well, what are you talking about? Like, don't stop talking for me.
Well, would you not be crazy if you lost Paige Van Zandt, Ronda Rousey, Sage Northcutt? You're losing them all.
I know, but I mean, it's like, it smells so fishy. Like, he's trying to stall the lightweight division.
He's trying to stall his last prospect, his last lover.
And just speaking of that, just how irrelevant titles are, there was a rumor, and I know it could be fake news or whatever, but Tyron Woodley versus Michael Bisping is supposedly now...
that was a thing? That was a thing?
No, it's picking up steam over the weekend.
Who's picking up steam?
That rumor.
Can I drop it?
Can we drop it?
Yeah, we can drop it.
I can respect... I like Tyron Woodley as a fighter. I think he's a great analyst as well. I can respect the guy for wanting to get, big time money fights, but this dude, he needs to stop with
honestly, the only fight out there for Tyron Woodley that he really should be pushing is that GSP fight.
Yeah.
Every other word in his mouth should be GSP if he really wants some money in a big fight.
All these random dudes, like, I'll fight Anderson Silva, I'll fight, bring back Nick Diaz, I'll fight. Like, dude, you know how Robbie Lawler got to be a star?
Bring back Horse Gracie.
Dude, Robbie Lawler got to be a star by not opening his mouth and fighting whoever the UFC put in front of him.
But it just shows you how irrelevant that title is really getting. It.
But he's making it that way. Dude, you gotta go out there and put on battles, man. But I mean, Robbie Lawler kind of almost saved that division a little bit because he brought the usher in the era of violence in the welterweight division after JSP's technical prowess. But I don't know. I mean, Tyron Woodley might run it back with Wonder Boy. See what happens there. There's other guys.
I'll be more than happy to see that.
But I don't know. But Michael Bisping versus Tyron Woodley.
Nobody's telling me
that. What's the fall of the UFC?
I don't know, man.
I'm trying to get the Machida versus Michael Bisping fight going.
Yeah, I know. So that's it for round number 5. Can we talk about the craziness of Rizin fighting promotions in Japan.
I saw a couple of fights. They were actually pretty entertaining.
Krokop won the tournament where they had
the Grand Prix tournament.
Prix,
Yeah, he TKO'd King Mo.
And then fought some some giant fat guy I saw earlier. And then they had
they had like the Honda little memes and stuff like that of who he was fighting.
So he won. He fought 3 times in 3 days and won. And I'm sure they don't drug test, but anyways. But congratulations to Krokop.
Yeah, the only problem is it was so late at night that I was falling asleep watching it, but it wasn't because it was boring.
Yeah.
It was because I was
the
just
time
so
factor.
And they had Gabby Garcia, who's like 6 foot,
fighting this
50-year-old professional wrestler.
Hit the ropes first.
Ran the ropes. And then after that, a German professional wrestler came in and challenged Gabby Garcia to the next was a fight.
There we go.
It was like a wrestling promo in the middle of an MMA event. So 2017 might be the year of Risen. Who knows? But that's it for this week's show. I know we ran a little long today, a lot to talk about, but hey, a lot of stuff to talk about. We got to talk a lot of stuff. So that's it for this edition, the first edition of 2017. I want to thank everybody for listening, 2016, and thank you for continued support. And if you're a new listener, make sure to pass along, man. Tell people, hey, check out FiveRoundMMA. You know, these guys don't sound too dumb.
5 times. 5 times.
To keep up with us, follow us on. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. That's FIVE. Like us on Facebook, and please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. Albert, what do you got?
I'd just like to thank everybody for listening, and hopefully 2017 is way better than 2016.
So I'll be in Florida, guys. So you guys will just hear my voice from now on until I come back. So, oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.